What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Lots of madness happening in the US as everyone is anticipating the election results. Obviously, we still don't have a straight answer. We have to wait on some things. Obviously, we didn't think this was actually going to go smoothly, did we? However, Bitcoin overnight tried to break above 14,000. We actually got above it slightly, almost hit 14,100. We have pulled back since, but Bitcoin is yet again trying to have another major move. So are we finally going to have the Bitcoin breakout? You can see we've had 3 times that we tried to break out on the futures chart. Every single time we've wicked back below into the resistance. Could today be the final chance for Bitcoin to have the breakout? Well, I want to show you something amazing today. What I want to talk about is the fact that for the first time, pretty much since way back in 2016, we have actually had the Bitcoin 200 daily moving average hit an all-time high, and the last 2 times this happened, well, basically, Bitcoin stepped on the gas and didn't look back. So could this mean that regardless of any short-term price action, that we have now officially begun the beginning of the next parabolic phase for Bitcoin? That is what I want to talk about today. So we are obviously going to discuss the fact that we may just be getting ready for the ultimate blast off for Bitcoin, and well, next year could be pretty fun, especially if you're holding some Bitcoin. So we're going to talk about that today. Also, the fact that Grayscale had its best week ever, record breaking, showing massive interest in Bitcoin from institutions and retail alike. Now, we do have some red flags. We have seen that Bitcoin inflows into exchanges has gone down over the past few months. However, in the past 24 hours, it had a major surge. So why are these whales sending Bitcoin to the exchange? Is it just a hedge? Are they looking to potentially sell when Bitcoin breaks some of these levels? We'll get into all that today. If that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you are not subscribed, definitely consider it. And without further ado, let's dive into the chart. So having a look right here, you could see that over on futures, we have hit this resistance and tried to break out of it several times. We had 1 attempt right here. We had 2, 3, and 4 this morning. We were actually sitting above it. Currently, we did pull back again. So the big question everyone is asking is, are we finally actually going to get above this channel that Bitcoin has been bouncing around in ever since April? You see, we hit the top, we come back down to the bottom, we struggle to break resistance again, we come back down, we struggle again. Now, keep in mind, we are still putting in higher highs, right? And higher lows as well. So this is an extremely bullish chart. And even if Bitcoin was to have a little bit of a resistance issue and have a fake out dump and we come back down to the low 11,000s, we would still be in this channel. Like I said, as long as we don't fall below the red, we are good. But we are once again pushing back into the historical red territory, the no man's land for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has barely spent any time above this level right here around 13,800, and this could be the critical moment we've all been waiting for. Now, let's just point out the fact that Bitcoin has broke above $10,000. I know, big deal, but keep in mind, we officially hit 100 days above $10,000. We broke above it on July 26th. This is the longest Bitcoin streak ever above $10,000. So there's a lot of purchasing from the whales, from the institutions. We see huge accumulation bubbles, especially around the $11,400 level. Now, if a lot of these guys were buying their Bitcoin at those prices, why are they going to sell it below that? So even if we do have a pullback, the chances, the odds of Bitcoin falling below 11,000 and staying below 11,000 for a prolonged period, in my opinion, are extremely low. But what we do have here, finally, is Bitcoin's 200 daily moving average finally hitting a new high. And you can see right back here, actually, let me pull this down to give you an exact number. You know, we had it trying to get above 10,300. It hit about $10,307. And currently today, we're at $10,322. And you can see over here, like Nunya Business pointed out, he said, is this the nail in the bear's coffin? The 200 moving average has just made a new all-time high. The past 2 times that this occurred, it was literally no look looking back. And I love the meme from Il Capo of Crypto, the the sunglasses, taking them off Jurassic Park, right? I feel the same way. Now, we are, like I said, entering some uncharted territory. We do have a few key resistances left, only really 3 of them. We have the $15,000 level, the $16,100 level, and the $19,000 level, and the $20,000 if you consider the psychological, all-time high, even though we stayed there for like an hour. We were barely at 20K. It's just the fact that we call it 20K because that's where it wicked up to. But we broke this trend a while back. Once we had that blast off in the beginning of July, Bitcoin started its moon mission. And just to point out right now, you could see what happens when Bitcoin starts to break some of these key levels. We are currently testing the yellow line right now. After that, we have the green level, which you could see was a lot of resistance back here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once we broke above that, my goodness, Bitcoin started its parabolic rally. We had a very similar situation back here where we went to the yearly high in 2019. As soon as we had that, we broke out crazy. And once again, we are testing the yellow, which is not quite at the green just yet. But if Bitcoin was to get up to that $16,000, especially $17,000 level, well, my goodness, guys, new all-time high, we could literally blow through 20K, straight to 30K, 35K. Honestly, the sky, the moon, space is the limit, my friends, on what Bitcoin could do after that point. And just talking about some different kinds of indicators. Charles Edwards, he talks about the utilization, Bitcoin utilization, finally dropping into buy territory. He says this is one of his favorite indicators for addressing Bitcoin value based on daily active address data. So lots of bullish fundamentals. Yes, we had a little bit of, an issue with the Bitcoin difficulty, but I think that had potentially something to do with the China news that came out yesterday. There was a lot of FUD, but, like Rand Neuner pointed out, it is time to pay attention. Look at this. He talks about, Citi, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase. Look at these. These guys have been, he talks about how long they've been banks for, 168 years, 208, 64, 149. Bitcoin, only about 12 years of existence, and it already has blown all of the market caps of these banks except for JP Morgan Chase out of the water. And let's be honest, what do you think it's going to be that hard for Bitcoin to get above a $298 billion market cap? Keep in mind, in 2017, we had over $800 billion in total market cap for all of crypto. So I don't think that is going to be something very difficult to pull off. Now, last week we had Grayscale seeing a record of $215 million worth of Bitcoin that surpassed all previous investments into the trust. They now hold $6.7 billion. So if they do continue last month's growth rate of about 32,000 Bitcoin, they are on track to hold 500,000 Bitcoin, about 2.7% of the circulating supply. Now, this is a little scary thinking of one institution having all of this, but the fact that it is in that high of demand, that people are literally flocking to this, they're buying Bitcoin, they're looking for something to hedge against all of this inflation, all of this uncertainty, right? Even today, you're seeing gold go up as well, right? Which is considered to be a safe haven asset. So by the end of next year, if they continue this, they could hold roughly 5% of all of the Bitcoin in circulation. Keep in mind that of all of the money that's been coming in recently, about 70% is allocated to just the Bitcoin trust alone, which shows that, yes, there are people still looking into some, altcoins and Ethereum, but Bitcoin is still the king. It's still what everyone has their eyes on. And that's why a lot of people asking about the alt season. The alt season will come. In fact, some altcoins are actually up like 30% today. A few of them, I noticed they're starting to have some good days. Could be the beginning of a little rally for the alts, but we know the big rally, the major rally will happen after the all-time high for Bitcoin, which might even happen this year. It's possible, okay? It is definitely possible. Could get a little shaky with the election results, but like I said in yesterday's video, I'm definitely not even worried about it. Literally not even worried about it. Short term, whatever, maybe we'll have a buying opportunity. So there is something that came out though. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin deposited in exchanges has hit the highest amount in the past 6 months, which is crazy considering it happened in just 24 hours. So the daily number of addresses has continued to drop. Now we do think maybe this could just be big whales just kind of putting their money on the exchange in case they need to sell Bitcoin, in case something happens with the election results and things go buck wild, maybe that's the situation. Maybe they're not actually like looking to sell. Maybe they're just doing it as a safe play. Although we do know what happens with mob mentality, right? You have a big whale sell, others sell, and then you have this crazy cascade of just sell orders getting triggered. Who do you blame? It's just fear, right? Fear of missing out, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Fear, it runs the market, right? So they say the gradual decline in the number of addresses sending or receiving Bitcoin during the run-up may signal volatility once the election results are officially in. Now, one thing that has people kind of shook is the fact that we have had 69,000 Bitcoin, roughly almost $1 billion of Bitcoin, being sent from an address that hasn't moved funds since 2015, and they think that it could be affiliated with the Silk Road. So, kind of interesting. Some people are saying this could be Ross Ulbricht. Now, most likely not him, because he's currently serving a life sentence. Pretty, that situation, obviously, people have a lot of opinions on the Ross Ulbricht situation. I do think potentially maybe could have been a little bit harsh. Should he be serving a life sentence? That's for another day to talk about, but inevitably, I don't think it's him. But they do say that there's an encrypted file containing what are claimed to be the cryptographic keys to the coins that has been circulating a hacker forum. So if the password has been cracked, then a hacker may have moved the stash, or it's the owner moving them to avoid that of potentially what is happening. But let's talk about some good news, and then let's get on out of here, guys, because let's be honest, at the end of the day, we all know where Bitcoin is going. So PayPal has grown in popularity throughout the pandemic. We do have more PayPal updates. Yes, I'm not done yet. Alongside rising demand for digital and contactless payment solutions. So PayPal processed $247 billion in payments in Q3, up 36% from the year, and they added an additional 15.2 million users. Now, we do know that they're coming out with crypto, being able to buy and sell, etc., and use at 26 million merchants. They have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some others. Now, you do have the CEO coming out, Dan Schulman, saying that PayPal's base was very eager to receive these capabilities. And actually, interestingly enough, in Monday's quarterly earnings call, PayPal executives confirmed that they'd seen so much interest in the feature that they would raise buying limits from $10,000 to $15,000. According to Schulman, he said it really came up very high on their wish list, adding that the waiting list to use crypto was 2 times to 3 times of what our expectations were. So that is definitely pretty incredible moving forward. And I just want to give you guys a super quick update. So you do know that Ramp recently has partnered with Tomo Chain. This is actually going to have some benefits, right? They're going to have they're going to retain Tomo staking rewards, retain capital gains potential on holding Tomo, gain access to liquid capital to invest in new opportunities without needing to inject additional capital, and earn Ramp tokens and exchange asset yields by actively participating in the Ramp ecosystem. And the reason that I'm rehashing this news for everyone is just reminding you that they are looking to launch the staking rewards very soon. I believe they're looking to actually start this by next week. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on that, as well as the fact that Bonded is looking to actually have their IDO on Dolomite. Now, they're doing this on the 15th. Now, Dolomite actually is a decentralized exchange, except they use the Loopring protocol. Now, we've talked about Loopring on this channel before. I've actually had an interview with the CEO. You could probably Google or search that for Loopring, CryptoZombie, interview, whatever. But essentially what Bonded is doing is they're looking at the $50 billion in latent value distributed amongst digital assets. So supporters of qualifying altcoin projects, they believe deserve the opportunity to earn on their holdings. So the Bond token represents governance, but more importantly, the opportunity to earn via network fees, liquidation events, loan payouts, and more. So that's just a little bit of an update as well. But at the end of the day, guys, like I said, I do not believe that the election will have really too much of a major effect on the Bitcoin price. I've been anticipating a potential pullback. Maybe it's not going to happen today. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we're getting very close to these significant levels. And if we do break above this yellow line, this historical yellow line, then pretty much we're looking at the next major resistance at around the $17,400 level. And after that, I mean, you're basically probably looking for Bitcoin to break new highs. So that's it for me today, guys. I mean, if we have a dump. I mean, buy the dip. I don't think that Bitcoin's price is going to, have a major crash and we're going to go into another bear market or anything like that. I believe that we are literally setting up for the massive parabolic run. We could have some hiccups, over the next month, whatever. But I mean, once this thing gets going, well, you've seen what it can do in the past. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. If you want to win a Ledger Nano S, drop a comment on any video and you are eligible. That is it for me today, guys. Don't forget also Bybit. They are doing their $540 potential giveaway. If you're interested, check out the links below and enter the code WIN $500 and you are eligible. You just have to make certain deposits to meet those requirements. So that is it for me. Thank you for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. My name's K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.